What's up, Power Veterans? It's me, Lady Vet, with another video about the final season of PowerBook 2 Ghost. Let's talk about some of the leaks, teasers, and sneak peeks. The closer we get to part 2, we can expect to see more teasers, especially after we waited so long. If you haven't done so, hit that subscribe button and then the like button, and leave your comments if you like. Now, this video will focus on Zion and Tariq's plan to kill him. When Kamal Tate went to talk to Detective Carter about being on his task force, he mentioned having information on a Marcus Zion Washington.
Zion Washington. Who? Homie, mid-level hustler. He's been supplying product to multiple organizations in 3 different boroughs. He's also...
And so my first thought was D-Wiz. And so I revisited Rock and Kanan going to the mother's place to pay respects. Well, actually, Rock went to ease her conscience, if she have one. And then I went back to the clip of Tariq and Braden at Zion's location. Then Breeze's old apartment came to mind. My next thought was that I have been looking at this through the wrong lens. And after I regrouped, I realized that like father, like son is not exactly a direct comparison of Tariq being more like his father in physical attributes and behaviors, but also included Ghost's past and Tariq's present. These moments moving forward are designed for us to see Tariq turn up. What am I talking about? Remember that I told you that the OG Power was a mirror that the writers were using, full of twists and turns, designed to tap into our creative minds. But we, Power Veterans, have been trained to follow a power trail and get to what's really going on. So let's get into it. Looking at the spot that Rock and Kanan visited Mrs. Washington, clearly it wasn't the same spot that Tariq and Braden were at. But unless Tariq has short-term memory, he has been there before with Kanan, which raised the question, what's Zion and Breeze's connection? Well, it's kind of ironic that Tariq is taking the fight to the same place that he first learned what kind of man his father was, the very place that he learned where his father killed his boss. Talk about like father, like son. And now Tariq, knowing Zion's location, plans to kill his boss at the same place to get closer to Noma. Well, no, not exactly. The significance is not about getting closer to Noma for Tariq, as it is about Tariq going back to Breeze's place to kill his boss. After all, his daddy did it. So who is really in Zion's bloodline? D-Wiz Washington? Or Breeze Matheson? Or James St. Patrick's secret brother? Would Tariq kill his uncle to get to the top? Come on, Power Veterans. Of course he would, if he was standing in the way of his future. Uncle Marvin is about the only uncle left that's still demanding respect. Uncle Gabe disappeared after the funeral. Uncle Frank got cut up into body parts. Uncle Lulu is unavailable. He's in rehab. Uncle Benny got stabbed to death. Uncle Ronnie just caught a bullet. D-Mac ain't talking to Uncle Tommy. And Tariq just threatened to kill Uncle Tommy. So I don't think that James and Zion are brothers. So when Ghost and Tariq struggled about taking the weight for Ray Ray's death, Ghost told Tariq that he was Tariq's age when he killed Breeze, but that he didn't want to kill Breeze. He did it because he was in the way of his future. Now keep in mind that Tariq got Kanan's version of what happened when he met up with Kanan in Breeze's apartment. Ghost told Tariq that Kanan did not know that he gave Breeze another chance, but that he forced his hand. And by now you're probably wondering, what does this have to do with Zion? The short answer is everything. Tariq is on the rise to the top, so everything that he does is calculated. In Power 307, Kanan met up with an elderly lady, pretending to help her with her bags. As they headed to her door, she asked if he used to live in her apartment when he was young. He told her that his friend lived there while he lived a few blocks over. Now, isn't this the same spot that Tariq and Braden are at? And didn't Tariq tell Noma he had a location on Zion? Yeah, Pinky could have helped Tariq with this, but even so, Tariq spent time here with Kanan, and this would be familiar to him. Now, I'm sure you all remember when Kanan told Dre that his plan was already in motion, that he was going to give Ghost a history lesson, take him back in time. Power veterans already know that Kanan's beef stemmed from Ghost and Tasha setting him up to take a 10-year bid inside. And since Pink Sneakers didn't complete the job of killing Ghost before he got out, he had to do his own dirty work. So Kanan took over Breeze's place. He even removed a picture that covered the bullet hole in the wall from years ago when Ghost shot Breeze. Kanan's plan was to shoot Tariq in the back of the head to hurt Ghost, but changed his mind when Tariq told him that he hated his dad. And so Kanan encouraged Tariq to trust him since Ghost had done both of them wrong. So Tariq trusted Kanan up until he joined his mother in setting Kanan up to die because he wasn't going back on the inside.
All the things you're telling me about who he was real.
Well, it's true.
Everything he told me about himself was just a lie. I can't even trust him anymore.
Trust me.
It's been about 17 or 18 years since Ghost killed Breeze. No doubt, Zion knew Ghost and Tommy, and he knew the name St. Patrick. What we know is that Ghost got the name from Breeze, and now Zion appears to be living at Breeze's old apartment. So let's rewind for a minute. Kanan wanted that apartment for a history lesson. To get it, the savage Kanan killed an elderly lady and took it. Who was the woman? Does it matter? Yes, because my theory is that after Breeze died, Kanan was running things. He was the man. So in time, Mrs. Washington moved from number 36 of her old apartment to the one Breeze was in, apartment 5D. Remember, Kanan was living blocks away and no lesson was needed at this time, except the one that Ghost was ready to teach Kanan. So that's when Ghost started his beef with Kanan, and he wanted to be the apex predator. So Ghost said that he wanted Kanan out of the way, and he loved him and wasn't going to kill him, thus setting him up. So Ghost kept this from Tommy while he and Tasha did the deed, just as Tariq keeps secrets from Braden. There are so many things that point to D-Wiz's brother being Zion, except the timeline. Possibly Zion's father, making Zion D-Wiz's nephew. So Zion's grandmother was killed by Kanan. Zion was on the inside until Davis helped him beat a RICO charge. Kanan was killed during this time, and when Zion got out, he came back to reside in the apartment. Yes, Zion would know Ghost and Tommy, but he would not know Tariq, and that's why the name St. Patrick got Tariq through Zion's door. So Zion took a meet with Tariq because of the name St. Patrick. After meeting him, Zion reduced Tariq to a wannabe ghost, pushed him around, threw his money on the floor, and called him cocky. Zion also told Tariq that his men knew better than to pull up on him lacking like he did, especially considering who his father was. Now, Tariq challenged Zion about knowing his father. Now, this is where Ghost had a delusional moment, thinking that at the top, he could kill all of his enemies and he'd never be recognized, and he could live happily ever after. But what about the children? Anyway, Zion continued to tell Tariq that his father knew how to solve problems before there was a problem, and that he even went out and got a white boy like Ghost did. Then asked Braden if he was crazy like Tommy, thus giving him the name Tiny Tommy. Now, all we know about D-Wiz's brother is Rock called him a wild boy who was in and out of prison, and that he was D-Wiz's older brother, making him older than Kanan as well. No different than Romero growing up under Kanan and Ghost raising the boy Rolla, who asked Ghost when he came to kill him if he still believed Kanan after all these years. One of Ghost's biggest mistakes. Even Lobos said that he checked out Ghost before he became his distro and found that Ghost's name was feared in the streets. Kanan raised Ghost and Tommy in the streets, and D-Wiz was his day one when they were younger in school. So Kanan would know the Washingtons, and Zion knew enough to know that Tommy was indeed crazy. We don't know what Zion learned from his father or his mother, but we do know that these drug dealers' kids are in the game before they are in the game. Without identifying himself, I would not expect Miss Washington to recognize Kanan as an older man. He was 15 or 16 when D-Wiz died. I doubt that Miss Washington keep up with the dope boys. Although Tariq did not know Zion, based on what Zion said, he convinced Tariq that he knows Ghost and Tommy. So now this isn't just business for Tariq, it's personal also. Tariq, like Ghost, never allowed forgiveness for anyone who done them wrong. Unless Tariq changes, he will turn on Diana eventually. You see what box he put Effie in, and he knew Effie a lot longer than he knew Diana. And I don't think a baby will make the difference for Tariq. Even Ghost threatened to take his children from Tasha. So Tariq had a few reasons outside of Noma to come see Zion. On his way to the top, Tariq, like Ghost, intends to wipe out his enemies one by one. Funny thing is, Tariq is in the habit of having a dialogue just before he unalives someone. So before killing Zion, we can expect to hear what Tariq has to say about what he knows. From the looks of the teasers, Tariq and Braden should expect to battle. And maybe Braden will be as crazy as Tommy coming out. Until the next time, guys, be sure to leave your comments below. I'm out.